How does the exposure triangle impact fashion photography? Imagine trying to capture a model walking down a runway or showcasing a new designer collection. How do photographers make sure every detail looks perfect? The secret lies in understanding the exposure triangle. This is made up of three key elements: aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Each one plays a vital role in how the image turns out, especially in the fast-paced world of fashion photography. Let's start with aperture. Think of it as the size of the opening in the camera lens. A wide aperture, which is a small number like f1.8, lets in more light. This creates a blurry background, making the model or clothing stand out sharply. This is great for highlighting intricate details on fabrics or accessories. On the other hand, a narrow aperture like f16 increases the depth of field, keeping more of the scene in focus. This is useful for group shots or runway photos, where you want everything sharp from front to back. Next is shutter speed. This controls how long the camera's sensor is exposed to light. A fast shutter speed, such as 1/1000th of a second, freezes motion perfectly. This is essential for capturing models in mid-stride or action shots on the runway without blur. Slower shutter speeds, like 1/4 of a second, can create motion blur, which can add a sense of energy or movement to the shot. But you need a steady hand or tripod to avoid unwanted camera shake. Then there's ISO, which measures how sensitive the camera sensor is to light. A low ISO, like 100, produces clean, crisp images with little noise. This is ideal for studio shoots with controlled lighting, where you want to show off textures and colors clearly. Higher ISO settings, such as 600 or 1000, make it easier to shoot in dim environments like evening fashion events. However, higher ISO can introduce grain or noise, which might distract from the high-quality look fashion brands aim for unless used deliberately for artistic reasons. Balancing these three elements is like tuning a musical instrument. Adjusting aperture, shutter speed, and ISO according to the lighting conditions helps photographers create images that truly showcase the designer's work. For example, in a bright studio, a narrow aperture with low ISO and fast shutter speed keeps everything sharp and clear. During a dim runway show, a wider aperture and higher ISO with a slower shutter speed might be necessary to get enough light without losing detail. Throughout fashion history, advances in camera technology and understanding of these settings have allowed photographers to push creative boundaries. Early fashion images were often static and heavily lit because of technical limits. Now, with mastery of the exposure triangle, images can be dynamic, capturing movement, mood, and texture with ease. In practical terms, fashion photographers use the exposure triangle to highlight fabrics, freeze motion, and adapt to different lighting environments. Whether shooting in a studio, outdoors, or at a runway event, knowing how to control these three elements helps produce images that communicate the style, craftsmanship, and trends of the moment. This understanding is essential for anyone involved in fashion media and events, as it directly impacts how designer brands are visually told and how fashion history is documented.